President Trump announced the U.S. will engage in talks with Iran over its nuclear program. He said that Iran will be in great danger if they don't make an agreement.
Well, the president also told reporters that he isn't backing off his tariff policy. He's even threatening an additional 50% tariff on China. CBN's Wendy Griffith has more.
In the face of fears of a wider global trade war, President Trump is sticking to his tariff policy and telling Americans not to panic. Despite turmoil in the markets over the past few days, President Trump told reporters he won't pause the tariffs.
Well, we're not looking at that. We have many countries that are coming to negotiate deals with us, and they're going to be fair deals. And in certain cases, they're going to be paying substantial tariffs.
A trade war with China looms as Trump threatened to impose an additional 50% tariff on China's imports if they don't remove their 34% retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. Economist Tim Desher on CBN's Faith Nation says the tariffs could mean higher prices for American consumers and says the administration needs to take additional action.
There is a serious risk that prices not only from tariffs are going up on consumers, but also prices because the tax cuts are set to expire. So there is a ton of work that has to be done as soon as possible here in order to get prices down and ensure that they don't rise in the future.
In an Oval Office meeting with the president, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu promised action in hopes Trump will kill the 17% tariffs imposed on Israeli products.
We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily.
The president and the prime minister also discussed the war in Gaza, the hostages, and the threat of Iran. The president made a surprise announcement that the administration will hold talks with the Iranians to stop their pursuit of nuclear weapons and issuing a threat if they don't comply.
We have a very big meeting and we'll see what can happen. I think if the talks aren't successful with Iran, I think Iran is going to be in great danger. And I hate to say it, great danger, because they can't have a nuclear weapon.
President Trump says the administration will hold direct talks with Iran in Oman Saturday. The Iranians, however, claim the discussions will be indirect. Wendy Griffith, CBN News.
Well, CBN White House correspondent Kelly Wright joins us now for more. So, Kelly, let's start with the Iran talks. What do we know about the negotiations and who's participating?
Gordon, good morning to you. Here's what we know so far. The president is sending his special Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, to Oman to deal directly with Iran. As we heard in Wendy's piece, though, Iran is saying that these are indirect talks, that Oman will serve as mediators. But the bottom line is this, as you heard the president indicate, they are trying to find a way to get to a peaceful situation and coexistence with Iran to make sure they can verify what's happening with their nuclear buildup. And if they don't do that, then there's the threat of some sort of military action that might take place. And that is what many people are watching. The hawks within the administration say military is the way to go. The president is stating that the diplomacy route is what he wants to do first. That's what's taking place this Saturday. But it surprised everyone, including Bibi Netanyahu, who has sternly warned American presidents not to deal directly with Iran because they cannot be trusted. Gordon?
Well, that's been their message consistently, that the Iranian government will break every promise that they made. And that's certainly been the history going back to the deal Obama tried to cut with them. And it just seems they violated every single time. And the Europeans are also joining on this. The nuclear watchdogs that have been appointed say that they routinely hide what they're doing. In that, does it seem like to stop them from getting the weapon, the military option really is the only option?
Well, I can't answer for the president. I don't want to get ahead of his plan or the plan of the Defense Department. But the bottom line is that when it comes to Israel's approach, Israel, as you know, in the past has bombed an Iranian site in the past for its nuclear buildup, and this is an effort to curb the nuclear appetite that Iran has. And so going to the table this Saturday is another step in what the president thinks is the right direction to find some way to diplomatically end this standoff between Iran and the Middle East and the United States. But keeping in mind, Gordon, what's going on, Israel has always defended itself against Iran, and Iran has always threatened to attack Israel and then the United States. And Iran has been doing a lot of talk about having a nuclear buildup to even eventually go for the big Satan, the United States of America.
Well, it's quite clear they want to wipe Israel off the map, and I firmly believe if they ever acquire one, Tel Aviv is the main target. Let's talk about another group that wants to wipe Israel off the map, and that's Hamas. The president and the prime minister talked about the war in Gaza. What were the main concerns?
I tell you, their main concern has always been the hostages. There are 59 hostages remaining, including Adnan Alexander, who is an American from New Jersey. He is still there in captivity by Hamas. The president has been urging Hamas to do the right thing and release these hostages. Both of these leaders in the Oval Office yesterday, Gordon, talked about their concerns for the hostages and about keeping Hamas in control and actually not in control, but getting rid of Hamas to make sure they can never be in control again of the Palestinian people so that Gaza can have a better future. Here's what they had to say.
You know, having a peace force like the United States there, controlling and owning the Gaza Strip would be a good thing.
It's going to take years to rebuild Gaza. In the meantime, people can have an option. The president has a vision. Countries are responding to that vision. We're working on it. I hope we'll have good news for you.
Gordon, here's something else that the president talked about, which really struck me. He talked about those 10 hostages who were freed from captivity by Hamas, and he met here in the Oval Office. He talked about the fact that he asked them questions about what their suffering was like. And then at one point, seeking to find out if Hamas showed any compassion, he said to all of them, he asked them the question, did they show you at any time any love? And he went on to say that they responded, no, they did not. In fact, he talked about the fact that they were keeping them in underground tunnels. He said it was more than a tunnel, it was like a pipe. And he talked about the horrible conditions. It could show you that the president was compassionate. It showed you that the president was concerned about the hostages and about their outcome. And he's definitely concerned about the 59 hostages remaining in captivity today. And with that, Gordon, he surprised people again by stating that it would be good to have a U.S. peacekeeping force in Gaza to make it a freedom zone, is what he said.
That would be a game changer, but I would fear for the safety of our soldiers there. That didn't work out in Lebanon under Reagan, and they would absolutely be a target. Let's change to tariffs, to the economy. And some of the president's supporters in the financial world, some Republicans in Congress, and I've got to say, my retirement account, are all concerned about the impact of the tariff policy. What's the message going to the president?
I'll begin with Jamie Dimon, who, of course, is the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase. He has stated that this would cause a slowdown in our economy. He's quite concerned about it. Senator Ted Cruz, he's very concerned about what these tariffs might do, that it might lead to an economic disaster. And, of course, Democrats are stating that the president is putting the United States in economic peril. The president remains very adamant about what he intends to do, and that is to make sure that we keep pushing forward with the tariff plan. He is stating he will not quit. So one has to wonder what he's doing with the art of the deal. He is the ultimate deal maker. There are countries calling him to negotiate. We've seen the EU negotiate. We've seen Israel do that as well. He's talking to Japan and other countries, Vietnam, Australia. So it remains to be seen how this is going to play out. Wall Street, of course, is very uncertain. The president says he's for Main Street America. He's for farmers. He's for auto workers. He's for people in industry. And he wants to see manufacturing come back to America.
Are miracles real? Let's investigate.
A lot of skeptics will say, well, miracles are impossible. Why? Because they violate the laws of nature. You can't violate the laws of nature.
I looked at my hand that was clutched. I said, hand move.
We got the 21-25.
Hallelujah! He's dead. It's over. I said, shock him one more time.